We all believe that we are real people in a real world with real problems. This translates to our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and experiences appearing more real than they actually are. As it is recognized that we and the world are not as real as it appears, there is already freedom. Welcome to Letting Go and the Greatest Secret, where we explore the end of your suffering and the beginning of lasting happiness. I'm Hale Dwoskin. Normally, a featured guest joins me for a conversation to share insights into living a life of deep joy and unshakable peace. Every now and then, it's just you and me, and today is one of those episodes. Have you noticed how real suffering appears, how real our story appears, how real the world appears? Lester Levinson, my mentor, used to say that one of the keys to recognizing that which truly is, or what we truly are, is to let go of wanting to make the world real. Now, why did he say that? He said it because this world, as we perceive it, is not how it actually is. We are seeing the world through the filter of me, through the filter of believing we are a person. And to the degree that we buy into that filter, that sense of me, to that degree, our story and our apparent problems appear real. You can discover, or it can be discovered by no one, that even the problems and the issues and the thoughts and the feelings and the beliefs and the ideas that we have that are most treasured, seem the most real, are not as real as they appear to be. Our world is both apparently real and unreal at the same time. And this is really good news. That means as we continue to deal with the world as it is, and also recognize that we're not really in charge, we're not actually the one doing it, as that sense of me disappears, the sense of real problems goes with it. Dealing with the world doesn't change. It actually gets easier because it's not through a filter of what we believe it should be or could be. And we're not believing all that the mind tells us as real. Because even when we look at a tree, we're not really seeing a tree. We're seeing our thoughts and feelings and concepts about what a tree is. And the tree seems like a real object because we seem like a real subject. But when that sense of subject disappears, the apparent objectivity also disappears. And there is just what's apparently happening. There is just this one amazingly beautiful energy unfolding as all that appears. And again, this is both real and unreal. And because this is already what is, there already is no separate individual, life doesn't need to change. In fact, it's just beautiful as it is. It just simply is as it is, or is as it's appearing to be. And life continues. You've probably heard the expression, before enlightenment, you chop wood and carry water. And after enlightenment, you chop wood and carry water. The difference is that there's no longer the appearance of anyone doing it. And that frees up all sorts of energy that we had no idea was even bottled up. The sense of contraction, the sense of imaginary solidity to the world that we live in just simply dissolves into this natural unfolding. And everything still continues to take care of itself, as it always has been. And this really, I'm using the word real a lot, this really is a fun exploration, actually, for no one. Your thoughts aren't really your thoughts. The world isn't really separate from what you appear to be. There is only one unified, gloriously beautiful and chaotic energy that all is. And just like with everything we talk about, we don't really want you to just take our word for it. So let's do an exploration to see how this feels, what it looks like, what it sounds like. So there can be the beginnings of a recognition of what actually is. So right here, right now, there is just what's apparently happening. Everything else, the mind adds to that, is just what the mind adds to that. And that too is what's apparently happening. There's actually nothing apart from or separate from this. Yet for most of us, it appears like there's a world out there and a me in here. So let's start with that, working from that perspective. So allow yourself to think of a thought or a feeling or a belief or an issue that seems really real to you, really limiting to you. And whatever's come to mind, is that welcomed here? Could you just allow it? Is that what's apparently happening? And when we believe we have real problems that need to be fixed, there is a constant tinkering with what is. There's a sense of wanting what is to be different than the way it is. And just to be clear here, I'm not saying that you shouldn't take care of your life. This actually allows for life to be taken care of much more easily and naturally. So in this moment, see if there's any sense of wanting to do anything with or about that apparent or that apparently real problem. Is there any wanting to fix it or change it or control it? And if there is that welcomed? Could you just allow it? Be present with it. Is that what's apparently happening? And with the reality of the world's problems and your problems, there's usually, or almost always, actually always, a sense of the personal, a sense of ownership. So is that welcomed here too? Is that sense of ownership welcomed here? That sense of me? Could you just allow it? Is it what's apparently happening? And then in this moment, even though there is no actual moment in time, could you, as best you can, let go of wanting to make that apparent problem real? Could you let go of wanting to struggle with that as best you can? Would you? When? And then could you allow that apparent problem to appear as real as it does? And then could you allow it to be as unreal as it is? And then could you allow that problem to appear as real as it does? And then could you allow it to be as unreal as it is? Or another way of exploring this is it possible that that apparent problem is both real and unreal, or both apparently real and unreal? Again, could you, as best you can, allow that problem to appear real and unreal? What if there's actually really no difference? What if it's neither real or unreal? It's just what's apparently happening. And the solution apparently happens too, without you needing to do anything about it. What if there is no you in any of it? Now remember, I'm not saying that you shouldn't take care of your life. Of course, that will continue, even as that imaginary sense of you dissolves. This is just a different way of seeing it for no one. So let's run through that again. Allow yourself to focus on some apparent problem, apparent thought or belief or idea or emotion that appears to be really holding you back, constricting your experience. And is that welcomed here? Could it just be allowed or welcomed? Is that what's apparently happening? And is there also a sense of wanting to fix it or change it or control it or understand it? Is that apparently happening too? Is that welcomed here? And is there also any sense of ownership, any sense of me or mine as part of that apparently real problem? And is that welcomed? Could it be allowed? Could it be noticed? is that what's apparently happening? And then, as best you can, just for now, could you let go of wanting to make that real? Could you let go of wanting that to be meaningful and important? Could you allow it to be as it is, along with its apparent solution? Would you? When? And what if all that appears real is both real and unreal? What if this is both real and unreal? What if it's actually neither? What if, just what if, what is just apparently is? And what if everything is already unfolding as it's supposed to, or as it is, or as it should? What if you, as the doer, aren't as real as it appears? What if there's just simply one energy appearing as both problems and solutions, as both you and me? And that is already freedom. That is already wholeness. That is already enough. That is already boundless or boundlessness. Okay, good. So allow there to be an exploration of this. I'm not saying any of this is real or true. It's just something to explore. I think as you explore it, or as it is explored, it will reveal itself to itself. And I would recommend that you listen to this more than once and see what unfolds. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our time together. We will do special ones like this every now and then, and of course, we'll be having plenty of featured guests to share their wisdom and insights with you. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe so you can have immediate access to future episodes. Please give us a 5-star rating and share it with the people you care about. These episodes are dedicated to sharing the eternal teachings from the greatest secret and the power of letting go. If you'd like to learn more about my work, my mentors, Lester Levinson's work, and the Sedona Method, please visit www.sedona.com. As you explore our site, you'll learn the key to lasting happiness, success, peace, and emotional well-being. We have books, courses, events, and plenty of free material to explore. Again, go to sedona.com. That's sedona.com. Thank you for being here, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Letting Go and the Greatest Secret.